came on board in November, and it's barely 4 months old, or 3 months, right? So, and we're also aware that many of the news platforms carried it and were saying the news that ChatGPT had hit over 100 million users. So today we want to see how ChatGPT has actually influenced what people really do. And as we are aware, this is a recorded event, so the valuable comments that you make will be shared with the world after now. University librarian Ma, we're just constituting the panel. So over to you, Ma. The topic today is ChatGPT being the new love of undergraduate students. Not that undergraduate students are the only ones using it. Most people use it, but we are trying to bring it to the environment where we are, how we use it, and what we should guard against. Hopefully this meeting will inform the general public and the ADUN community. So you are highly welcome, Dr. Mrs. Gladys Onya, the University Librarian.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Admirables in particular. I want to appreciate you people for converging here today, and essentially the e-librarian for making it a duty to call you people in respect with the latest developments. You know, ADUN is already known for being at the forefront at innovation. I believe you agree with me on that. One thing about technology is the one you know of yesterday is already obsolete. I hope you know that. So every day we look forward to something new and advantageous. And so I'm particularly happy and delighted that you people have been called today to be briefed. Because there is a phenomenon in life. Everything that has an advantage has disadvantage. So it is good that you tread very cautiously in imbibing all the technologies you see out there. Some are going to be very detrimental, some are going to be very useful. The particular one, all of us are studying it because it's as new as we are saying it, isn't it? But I know that given the structure, what we are seeing is going to attract so many students because they want it at the greatest ease for everything. So because of that, I decided to just give you one word on it. And that is anything robotic, anything that's artificial is not a norm. A norm is acceptable standard of life. So you are just going to take the best of it and apply. And then drop what will not suit you so that you don't burn your hands. That's just my little advice. Now, if I'm very current, because we are all scholars, students, and developers, if I'm quite current, we are beginning to see that it's a technology people find very easy to be doing things for you, especially our academics. The students would like to relax and then throw whatever assignment given to you for a robot. But note that robot has it lacks one particular thing. We are students, let me see. Let me see your hands, if you can show to us what it lacks. Robot lacks something that you have. Yes, my dear. Yes, creativity. What brings about creativity? Robot lacks a basic thing of life. What? The brain, reasonably. Your feelings, emotions, senses, you know? Whatever you tell is that zombie, isn't it? It will help you reasonably. So know that you don't want to turn zombie. Where I'm driving at is, much as it will help you, you still have to augment what it will give you to get the best of you and to be at the top. Don't rely squarely on it, because I can see some students relaxing. that assignment so that you can be jiving everywhere. Please, let there be some reasonable degree of caution in the use of it. Try and look out for what it will benefit you. Maybe what you cannot do, or what it can help you do better than you can do with your senses. And that has no sense, you should be able to moderate it to suit you and your environment, so that at the end you come out tops and a high flyer and a leader. I want to leave everything. You are in the best hands. Our lecturers are here, and we would like to learn more. I want to thank you for responding. That shows that what we are doing here is appreciated. I want to, in fact, I was expecting more crowd than this. More, okay. So please, to the best of your knowledge, be wise. And thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Can you, once again, I will introduce the member of the panel here. My name is Sylvester. I am the e-librarian, and I am co-hosting this conversation with...
I'm Treasure Samuel-Ogolo. I'm a student of Cybersecurity 200 level. I shall be your co-host alongside Mr. Sylvester.
Thank you very much. My name is Pius Wakbai Ejodame. I'm a lecturer, computer science, Admiralty University of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, and also we have one of the Information Technology Department staff of Admiralty University to introduce himself briefly.
Thank you, sir. I am also Destiny from ICT. Also, I'm a senior software engineer.
Okay, thank you. Can we just clap our hands for ourselves for being here? It's not easy. ChatGPT, the new love of undergraduate students. If it's a healthy relationship they are having with this software, or an unhealthy relationship they are having with this software. And by the way, today is Valentine's Day, and we want to say Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Those watching, we want to say Happy Valentine's Day to you. And at this point, so we'll let them speak. Some of them feel like they are for this motion, they like the software. However, some are against it and want to give reasons why they are against it. So please be vocal and share with us your thoughts. So before that, I don't know, maybe you have one or two words to share with us.
All right. As Mr. Sylvester has said, I am your co-host, and we are here to discuss whether or not ChatGPT is a friend or a foe, whether this could be an educational problem or whether it can turn into some sort of opportunity. Well, ChatGPT, as you all know, is an open source software for now. Open source in the sense that it is free for everyone to use and get information from. Well, this debate basically would shine more light on a lot of critical questions, like how does it affect a student's well-being? How does an experience with ChatGPT go? Will it disrupt the way we think? Will it advance the way we think? These kind of questions will be asked. And whether or not ChatGPT is dumber than we think. So basically, I'm going to hand over the microphone to Mr. Pius to give us a formal address before we start this debate.
Thank you very much. As both of you have said, we'll do just that. We all know definitely that artificial intelligence is a thing of the future, they said, but I put it to you, it's also a thing for now. And I particularly like the topic, the love. Love. One thing is certain, we are not arguing if ChatGPT is being used, is available and is being used. But the singular fact that it's coming at the time of love, we both agree that some persons will love it and some don't love it. Now the question is, if we love it, how deep, how honest is the love? It's one thing to have technology. It's another thing for how you deploy technology. I'm not going to the details because I would like to hear our ambassadors speak. But we must have one thing in mind, that AI has come to stay. When ChatGPT was being designed, conceptualized, we have an open AI team. When it was being conceptualized, I don't think the designers thought it would go this far. And as I speak with you, they are having competitors building, other ones that will be more powerful than they had before. ChatGPT falls under the natural language processing tool of artificial intelligence, whereby it's unlike before, where you have a situation, you have a text, you are struggling to make sense out of it. Intelligence has now made it possible that you can actually have text and communicate like normal human. It's not rocket science. It exists, currently exists, and it also exists in Nigeria. I put it to you. It exists. We have some researchers that have actually done some work in this area, but the challenge, which with time we may talk about, is how we actually handle it as a people and take value for what we have. So ChatGPT has come, and we'll hear people talk about it, then afterwards we can add one or two things. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Please jam your hands together. So who is going first? Let's hear from Oluwaseyi.
Bamidele Oluwaseyi by name, it has been said already. Concerning the topic, like Mr. Pius has said, it's a very timely topic per se, in the sense that it's coming during the season of love, and now we are discussing whether or not is a relationship healthy for the students. I am supporting that motion here, in the sense that ChatGPT in education is very, very, very helpful. Before I explain anything, I want us to get a sense of what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT operates on a GPT-3 AI language model, in the sense that GPT-3 means it's a generative pre-trained transformer. Pre-trained in the sense that every text or every response ChatGPT gives back has been analyzed in the data set working in the background, obviously. It's not an AI model that is constantly learning, in the sense that whatever it gives out has already been stored. So when it generates content for you, basically it goes back to that preset or that pre-training, transforms it into something we can understand, plausible language, and then that's what it actually generates, hence the name GPT. That is the language model, that's how it works. Bringing this to the educational system, most times when you ask anybody at all, how could ChatGPT help you? And the very first instance a student can bring up is research. Research, it's not something that you can just say with one word and finish it up like that. Research in education, there are many nuances to it, in the sense that there can be at times where research is not possible for you because of limited time. There can be times where research is not possible for you because of your knowledge. Probably you are a computer science like I am, and there are other broad factors. Like I am a computer science student, but in the second year, we are dealing with biology, we are dealing with physics, other aspects of science that are not familiar with a person like me. Research can also be taught in a sense of probably comfort in the sense that it's the ability of a student to understand what he's researching on. Let me touch these key areas a little bit. Take, for instance, I'm giving an assignment, I'm giving an essay, and it's not something that is familiar with my field. I'm going to something like biology, for example, a 10,000 page essay or something like that. Normally, before the advent of ChatGPT, I would usually go to the internet and then spend probably 2 hours, 3 hours working on that essay. But as ChatGPT came into existence, first thing I would do is just to hop on and get a general overview. Like that, it brings one advantage. That advantage is the sense that ChatGPT can give you a summary of probably everything you're about to dive into. You have no knowledge of it, right? And then ChatGPT gives you this concise report, opening your mind to what you're about to dive into. That's what I start with. Secondly, I can now, since ChatGPT is pre-trained, it's not possible for it to be extensively knowledgeable in all areas of science or all areas of art. So If you ask a question on general engineering, yes, it will give you, but when you go deep into engineering like mechatronics, it's not possible for it to give you all these answers. So ChatGPT, when I hop on that essay, when I hop on that project, what I'll simply do, after getting the overview of what I'm going to dive into, then you now add extensive research from textbooks and that to combine everything, make a good, clever report. That is one advantage. Secondly, that aspect of time saving under research. Probably in a scenario as a student where you have to make this quick, very probably, let's say, a day to an exam. Students were like that fire brigade approach. So ChatGPT can just give you almost everything you need in a matter of seconds. Before that advent, you can spend 20-30 minutes on the web, in the browser, actually checking one after the other, but actually diving into ChatGPT, you get the report of everything you need in like 5 to 10 seconds time frame. You're able to jot down the key points you need, and before you know it, you're actually working with data that is working. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Thank you so much for giving us that background. I didn't even know about ChatGPT the way you have explained it. So I understand better. You were able to tell us how it even works, how it collects data, it has been trained. The responses it gives to you is what it has been trained or programmed to give, and up until 20.
Let me just add something here. Let's not have that misconception that it is only what it was trained to do that it works with. It's not only the documents or the information that it's used to train. Now, the model that was used for ChatGPT is a hybrid model, a combination of supervised learning and reinforcement learning. Now, supervised learning is such that I have some samples. Let's say we have some persons. We also have a target, a supposed target. We cannot train that, okay, let me give a good example. Students, the time they come to class, if the student eats in class, if the student sleeps in class, we have all this information. Then we also have the score for all students. Now we can train our model based on this data. And from the data, remember we have the score. So we cannot train and discover that, okay, there's a pattern. Some certain students that sleep all the time, if a student is sleeping, then there's most likelihood that student will score less. If the student is always paying attention, no, that's supervised learning. You have your data, you also have your target. Now there's another part of AI which is a major bone for ChatGPT. It's called reinforcement learning. Now, in this case, it's a learning that rewards effort. If I have data based on, I've trained the model, the result I'm getting, if it is something that is good, in quote, it improves the model. So, when you have trained the model and it encounters a kind of problem it has never seen before, it will now use, based on what some of all these parameters that have been fine-tuned, let me not go too deep into technicalities. It can now predict and say, okay, this is what should be. You understand? So that reinforcement learning, if you not check and it's okay, you okayed, it's like giving the system congratulations, you did well. It now knows that next time, this kind of output it should be. But if you now say, no, this is not good enough, retry. It knows that, no, I didn't do well. So those parameters it's used in generating those content, it will, So that is why it is not only the data. I put it to you. Generate any data that has ever existed in the world and try to use it with ChatGPT. You'll be surprised what you will get. I don't want to go into this. Even there's something I will say when they are done, so I'm being careful not to give them too many points. There are some things that we should do, especially those of us in this part of the world. Many people, okay, let me not talk. When they finish,